Lots of breaking news on the President Trump transition front. The president-elect is picking up more key members of his new cabinet, and some major picks have just been announced. So moments ago, the president-elect revealing that tech mogul Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, also a businessman, will spearhead the Department of Government Efficiency. This is a new thing that Trump has created. The mission of all this is to cut red tape, reduce wasteful spending, and overhaul federal agencies.
Both of these men have conflicts of interest or have investigations or have massive contracts with the U.S. government, and they will be in a position to cut programs, cut jobs, cut budgets, and at the very least, see where all the money is getting spent. So even if they're not officially inside the government, it feels like a conflict.
So here's a good question. Is it a bad idea to place two billionaires as part of Trump's team? Because the president-elect feels that these two can do wonders together. Now, looking back at Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter, many people fear that the treatment will be the same. Twitter, now known as X, has lost around 90% of its workforce. With X being one of the biggest platforms for news in 2024, I would say that Elon Musk did pretty well with managing the social media platform. Others, though, within mainstream liberal media are not looking forward to Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy having anything to do with the government.
Cutting waste and inefficiency in federal government is something that many presidents have promised, and many Americans would like to see. But what would Elon Musk's managerial style do in a federal government context?
Well, a lot of it is jazz hands around him, and some of it's chaotic. Some of them are run well, but he's always got someone behind them. Like at SpaceX, it's a woman named Glenn Shotwell or other executives. And often he comes in and he just, overthrows trash cans and says, everybody, we're going to do everything differently. That's something he does a lot. I don't think you can do that in government. At SpaceX, they've blown up a lot of rockets to get to where they are. I'm not so sure you can blow up things in the federal government quite as easily without some impact. And so it's not this thing as running a company where you have fiat to do everything.
So I think what she's trying to say here is that Elon Musk is basically a guy who takes the credit while others work, which really isn't the case because none of us are actually 100% aware of what happens behind these companies. What we do know is that Elon Musk has a grasp of everything that's going on within SpaceX, Tesla, and X. He actually knows what he's doing. What Kara is trying to do is to downplay Elon Musk's role in all these companies. Even talking about blowing up rockets while SpaceX literally brought a rocket ship back to Earth in one piece. Something that's never been done before. Now, I also do want to note that Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and of course Trump, they all have something in common. They prefer having people who are capable around them. People who are smart and who are able to do things that nobody else can, which she confirmed by saying all of that about a billionaire. But since Elon Musk brought back the First Amendment on X, they're pissed.
Obviously, Elon Musk has played a huge part. Obviously, he paid it $44 billion. Do you see that as a good investment in the future of free speech?
Well, as an investment, it wasn't a good investment because it's valued now at 11 to 12 billion. But that doesn't matter. What he did do is keep alive the concept of free speech, because in a democracy, you're always dealing with 2.5% lunatic fringe. The cost of freedom of speech is the lunatic fringe. The minute you try and shut down the lunatic fringe, you're moving away from the concept freedom of speech. Everybody has a voice. You may not like what they say, but because they're part of the narrative, that is the core and the DNA of democracy. And so many ideas get tested, some get thrown out. And when you try and change that, again, the system self-corrects, and that's what happened here. So it's a very divided country now. We are going to have a new president with a full mandate. I mean, it looks like he's going to win the Senate and the House and the presidency. You can get a lot done for the first 2 years when you control everything. And so that's what's going to happen.
And Kara Swisher is one of the biggest haters so far, so this really isn't much of a surprise to me. It's also not surprising that they would use fear-mongering to try and sway the opinion of the people. In a CNN write-up, the network highlighted Elon Musk's goal of major cuts to government spending. Watch.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
Now, according to CNN, Elon Musk is going to treat the federal government just like Twitter, cutting out an insane amount of manpower on day one, something that hasn't always produced the greatest of results. They highlighted Elon Musk's interview of Governor Ron DeSantis and President-elect Trump on X. Both interviews experienced a lot of technical issues, although that could possibly be explained by the sheer volume of people that try to enter the X spaces that they opened up for them. But, here's the thing. I use X on a daily basis. I'm always reading updates and news from different accounts on there. I haven't noticed what CNN is talking about because they're saying that X is unstable when it's one of the best social media apps out there. In fact, if Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or any other platform crashes, people tend to rush to X to check if the app is down. So to say that X is janky, that would be a stretch. But the hate for these men, it runs deep within left-wing media, guys. None of them exemplifying this anger better than Reid. Watch.
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, great, we're going to get to hear his voice again for however many years till he gets fired. They're going to lead something called the Department of Government Efficiency. They're supposed to now be in charge of cutting the budget, which is normally the job of the House of Representatives. You served in the House. Doesn't the House have to be involved some way in creating a new government agency, or can Trump just whip one up on Twitter?
No, Joy, that's right. I think Donald Trump's just handing out candy right now to his friends and family. Congress is required to establish federal departments to define the jurisdiction, to decide how it's appointed. Presidents can certainly appoint aides and non-congressional positions, but there will not be a Department of Government Efficiency without Congress, which actually raises the question, does Congress now just rubber stamp that in one of its next appropriations bill? And here's what it's going to be. This is your Project 2025 department.
Yes.
The Department of Government Efficiency by Ramaswamy and Elon, that's your Project 2025 department. Correct. Without the bad impressions that Heritage created during the campaign trail.
Are they still talking about Project 2025? That thing should have been dead and buried when their campaign fizzled during the presidential election. And are they saying that they don't want an efficient government? Like, why would you be trying to promote that unless you actually have a government job? A government that's not completely focused on spending our money like it's nothing? Because that's the message that we're hearing from legacy media. And I guess they're pulling out all the stops since MSNBC is probably going to be sold off soon. It'll be funny if Elon Musk decides to buy them too, wouldn't it? But what are your thoughts on Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy leading the charge on government efficiency? Are they right for the position, or could we do better? Now, since we're talking about legacy media, so now that Trump has actually won the popular vote as well as the Electoral College, Scaramucci is now scared of Mucci, and he's trying to walk back his previous words on the president-elect. Just recently, he said that Trump critics, including himself, must take a hard look in the mirror before the next election. His message for Democrats: your message is not what the American people want and the majority of the American people. Wow. Then again, he was also been on the press circuit warning people of a supposed Trump-fueled stock market crash. He said that if Trump enacted 50% of what he's saying, you'll have a stock market crash, the likes you haven't seen since the 1920s. He also mentioned how Elon Musk agreed with a post on X that said Trump's plans to deport millions of immigrants who are in the country illegally and cut spending would cause a stock market meltdown, since that could spark a labor shortage that could make inflation reaccelerate. He said that Donald Trump's plan to deport 15 million people will crush the economy. It'll crush our tax revenues and flip upside down the job market. Or, those jobs could actually go to Americans, and it's Americans that would actually prop up our economy. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think we would actually get a stock market crash after Donald Trump's new policies being implemented? Y'all let me know in the comments down below, guys. Also, if you want to take it a step further, join us over in our Patreon community. There's a link in the description down below. Get early access to content, commercial-free videos, and check out exclusive content that I just can't post here. But for all of Scaramucci's doom and gloom, top business leaders, investors, and philanthropists, they don't seem to have a problem congratulating Donald Trump's victory in the presidential election. There's Elon Musk, who was very quick to celebrate Trump's victory even before the election was even called in the president's favor. That's right, guys. The former Tesla and SpaceX CEO said that Trump had been given a crystal clear mandate for change, and he was not afraid to put his money where his mouth is, as the world's richest person donated at least $119 million to a super PAC supporting Trump. In fact, the billionaire tech mogul also launched a $1 million daily giveaway for signers of a conservative-leaning petition supporting the First and Second Amendments. Now, guys, that's life-changing money right there, guys. How would you feel to get an extra $1 million just for signing a petition, right? Let me know. And more importantly, what would you do with that $1 million? Would you give it away? Would you invest it? Would you pay off some bills, maybe pay off your house? Anyway, even Harris supporting business leaders posted about a Trump victory before the election was officially called. So the former principal owner of the Dallas Mavericks and Shark Tank star Mark Cuban, he wrote on X that Trump won fair and square. Now, this is actually surprising to me because Mark Cuban usually doesn't even like Donald Trump. So for Mark Cuban to actually make this post about Trump in a positive light, it's actually kind of surprising. Anyway, Silicon Valley venture capitalist and donor David Sachs said that Nixon 68 was the greatest comeback until tonight. And the billionaire supported Donald Trump even before it was popular. As he said on X before the election, 4 years ago, Kamala Harris and the Democrats came into power promising a return to normalcy. What did they give us? Open borders, felons released from jail, runaway spending and inflation, partisan lawfare and censorship, a world on fire. They had their chance. Vote for change. Aaron Levy, CEO of cloud company Box, posted on X congratulating Trump before he officially clinched the White House. He said that what's great about America is that we're on a rocket ship right now and can keep accelerating with the right policies and execution. And Levy was a pretty outspoken Harris supporter throughout the campaign, even donating more than $145,000 to Kamala Harris's victory fund. Another Harris big money supporter and former presidential candidate himself, Andrew Yang, congratulated Trump on X, saying that defending democracy means accepting election results that don't go your way. Mark Anderson endorsed Donald Trump in July, and he also gave $2.5 million to the pro-Trump PAC Right for America. At midnight before the election was called, he even said that it's time to build, as a response to Elon Musk, who had posted, "America is a nation of builders. Soon you will be free to build." Fellow wealthy Trump supporter Bill Ackman said on X that the fact that Kamala Harris has not conceded such a devastating loss speaks volumes. But perhaps one of the most resounding of all of these different congratulatory messages actually came from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos said, "Big congratulations to our 45th and now 47th president on an extraordinary political comeback and decisive victory." Then he added, "No nation has bigger opportunities," wishing Donald Trump all success in leading and uniting the America we all love. And like my uncle said, guys, a snake will shed its skin, but it's still a snake. Now, seriously, guys, Anthony was asking Kernan what he said. Well, let's take a look at what he actually posted on X, shall we? So here from October 14th, Trump is an un-American sore loser. Vote Harris. And another one from February 11th. There's a group of people here in our country that are supposed patriots and love and appreciate the American military, yet they love a con man more. The atrocious statements made by Trump today about Governor Haley's husband would have been met with clear rejection at the ballot boxes by patriots. Something to think about. How far we've moved away from the greatest generation, where people are now voting for someone who calls their veterans suckers and losers. But really, guys, the one that really got my goat, it was this one from a few months back. Watch. Look at this here. Trump is a traitor. The stalling of the military gave a window of opportunity for Putin to take advantage. He saw weakness and a divided NATO because of Trump. We are not going back. And not surprisingly, Scaramucci, he's been pretty active on social media in support of Harris. Early on election day, he posted on X that if a political candidate wants to declare victory before the polls close, remember they are doing that to damage our country, not to serve it. But when you look back at his X post before that, he clearly said that Harris will win. Seriously, Anthony, hypocrite much? But this is the pattern that we often see here, guys. President-elect Trump spoke up after the on-air tangle between Kernan and Scaramucci. He said that Anthony Scaramucci was a major loser who was fired from the administration after only 11 days for his insane brother from another mother interview with Chris Cuomo, and then with CNN. Then Trump added, "Great job by Joe K." I mean, where was the lie, right? Kernan basically called Scaramucci a moocher who gets his time in the limelight just for being a Trump hater. As CNN host called out, Scaramucci will always be welcome at the table of legacy media and have people nodding as he trashes Trump. That's always going to happen. Kernan also didn't fail to note that Trump has been very good to Scaramucci's career and that the Trump critic will be able to live off of this for at least another 4 years. But true enough, this guy is already criticizing our president-elect even before he's inaugurated. He, who is just one of many aides who supported Harris, said Trump's victory in the presidential race last week was a sad day for a lot of people. This was in an interview on CNN where he also said that he hopes Trump takes a pause and thinks about that the country needs to unite, There needs to be a healing process in the country. Now, honestly, guys, I think it was pretty clear. Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College. He's already united America in a way that Democrats could only wish for. And by the way, guys, Anthony calls himself a Republican, but no real Republican would vote for Kamala Harris and her very anti-Republican policies, right? I read a book a long time ago, and it basically said something that was really powerful and profound to me. And it said something along the lines of, look at your 5 closest friends, and typically your income is an average of your 5 closest friends. Now, with that being said, I was kind of like thinking, okay, well, how do I find people who made way more than me so I could increase my chances of having a higher income? I mean, it only made sense, right? For less than a cup of coffee a day, for less than $1 a day, join a powerful network of people who are ready to change their lives for the better. And I will be putting a limit on this group, so get in while you can. Be positively motivated by others who are also on the same pursuit. So I'm going to leave a link for you guys so you can join me over on the Life Pursuit Network in the description down below this video. So check it out, guys, and let's not be a victim of this great wealth transfer that is taking place right now. SNL is now changing its approach when it comes to Donald Trump. Believe it or not, they're now doing bits that actually flatter him rather than ridicule him. Or at least that's what they're trying to do here. Now, I covered this in a previous video, guys. You got to check it out right after this one. As always, thanks so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.